Hey everybody, good to be back with you. So I wanted to talk about Moon Square to Neptune in Synastry today. So when we have the square, what often ends up happening is that we will manipulate each other with our fantasies and use them as a means for self-deception or self-gratification. The way that things appear with the square and the way that they actually are very, very different. And there is an otherworldly feeling of attraction and seeing in the other person all that we have dreamed of. We really see in them the potential to be everything that we have been waiting for. Neptune is the agent of projection. The moon person is focusing their unconscious fantasies onto the Neptune person, and often these fantasies are unhealthy or destructive. Whatever is contained in the reservoir of unconscious fantasy on the part of the moon person will come spilling out onto the Neptune person. So look at how the moon is aspected in the natal chart of the moon person to get a clue about what it may be that is going to come spilling out. If we have Neptune or Pluto aspects already to the moon in the natal chart, then it's going to be very, very difficult not to take the interaction to its end. You cannot talk somebody out of this square. It's too addictive. It's like the moth to the flame. And there are several aspects in synastry that create, that create the burnt moth effect, but this one really, really roasts the moth. The moon person is unconsciously objectifying the Neptune person, but they can't see it. And don't try to tell them that. They won't believe you. It feels real. It feels real at the time. And it's too thick of a Neptunian poison to counteract with logic. They're simply going to think that you're not understanding the depth of their connection or how it's faded or cosmic or karmic or spiritual in origin. Occasionally, you can reason somebody out of an unreasonable belief, but it's really rare, and you're likely not going to be able to do it in this case. The infatuation that comes up when we have this square is not going to be able to be penetrated by facts. The Neptune person responds to the moon person as if there's someone that they can easily manipulate. And the Neptune person is not telling themselves this in the front of their mind, but they know it's somewhere in the middle. It's not all the way hidden in the back, but they don't actually wake up in the morning and say, I think I'll manipulate Jane today. It's not that obvious to either person. The Neptune person does know, though, that they can get away with a lot. And there's also this effect that this square produces where the Neptune person will use the fantasies of the moon person against them negatively. And this happens more as they fall deeper into the Neptunian trance. The Neptune person is like a fantasy that often turns into a nightmare for the moon person. And the moon person is seen as easy prey for the Neptune person. What appears as perfection is in reality often a mess. The way we lie to ourselves with this square and the lengths that we will go to protect ourselves from the truth of each other is stunning. Neither one of us are telling ourselves the truth about why we are with each other, and we're not telling ourselves the truth about the real nature of the other person's character. And this is one of the most difficult aspects to deal with in synastry because of how it appears and how things actually are. It takes time and it takes proximity to pierce through the self-created illusion that you are projecting onto the other person. True love only can happen after the disappointment of discovering who you're really with. You can only fall in real love after see what you're really seeing and accepting the other person for who they really are. And we have to become acquainted with each other's true qualities to fall in true love. We're falling in love with unmet qualities within ourselves when we are falling into Neptunian love. And this can be fake or it can be extremely real, depending on what it is you choose to see. This falling in love with our own true qualities is actually what is creating that feeling of mystical union. It's you yourself that are becoming demystified as you reveal those qualities that you're dying to fall in love with from deep within yourself. You see them when they are cast upon the screen of another. And this is the feeling that we're looking for. This is the union that we are looking for. We need to see what is contained within our own self, within our own psyche, if we are going to become a whole self-actualized individual. And the relationship between us and other is going to be the conduit for self-realization if we work through this square instead of drown in it. The realization of the truth of the other is the realization of the truth of ourselves. We have to recognize this if we are going to fall in love with the other in a real way. We don't know what we're going to find until we confront the truth. So two options are available to us when we have this square. We have to accept the truth when it comes out, and then either A, we can decide that we have enough to work with, and we can begin the process of really getting to know each other and really falling in love, or B, we can accept the truth that we are not healthy for each other, and that is often what people do find. This aspect will either result in self-knowing or self-deception. And the knowing comes after the acknowledgement of the deception. Many, many people do not get to that point. They are stuck in being mired in the longing for the perfect other. And we can recognize that we are that perfect other, and we are that flawed other, and we can accept us, and we can accept the other for what they are, and then we can really realize a true union. We can realize ourselves as the other, accept ourselves for what we really are, and this leads to acceptance of the other. If we can't accept ourselves and we can't really accept the other, and we'll continue to search for that perfect embodiment of romance, we'll continue to search for ourselves and then deny ourselves and continue to search for ourselves. It can be an endless search that's marked by a sweet longing and a loneliness, or a joyful union where we experience true love for another because we know true love. We don't believe in it. We know it. And it is this false belief that we are cutting through to find that knowing, to find that security of what is real, what is actual. And so this square can result in different outcomes depending on who we are and how we approach it and what we're actually looking for.